Hello, everybody. Welcome to Start of the Soul Yoga, and I'm back with another class for you. So, this is actually a class that I made for a private client, and they've kindly allowed me to share this class with you. So, today's class is perfect for people who are older because it's for people who also have sensitive wrists and sensitive joints. So, without further ado, let's get started. For today's class, you might need, if you do have some yoga blocks, like some we have here. If you don't have yoga blocks, then that's okay. You can just use a cushion. If you don't have a yoga mat, you can use a blanket, but make sure it's not on a slippery floor because you need to be able to grip. So ideally, if you have carpet, just get a blanket. I'll show you one that will be quite ideal. A blanket with this kind of grip. Okay. So we're going to start with warming up our joints. So we're going to start with our wrists. So hold on to the mid of your forearm and just rotate your wrist gently. So this is really important if you have sensitive wrist. And then rotate again the other direction. I just say just do what feels natural to you, because the whole point of yoga is using the asanas, which is a technique to come into ourselves. So we're not ever getting into the pose, we're using the pose to come into ourselves. So these are always just guidelines. So use the guidelines to do whatever works best for you. And we're going to switch to the other side now. So rotating the wrist. So I'm going anti-clockwise. And then the other way. So basically you're just holding the forearm, so you're isolating the movement, so you're really targeting your wrist. We're going to go into Mani Bandha. We're going to go into bending the wrist now. I believe it's called Mani Bandha Naman. So we're going to pull the fingers up, not too tight, just so there's a gentle pull, like on the underneath of the wrist, and then on the top of the wrist as well. And then pull it down. And now we're going to switch hands to the other hand. Pull the wrist up, not too tight, just so there's a stretch in the wrist. And then pull it down. Okay, and now you're going to take the reverse side of your palms and join them together like so. And you're going to roll them in a circle. So it's like going up with the back of the hands touching, coming round, joining the palms, and then going back to the palms touching. And now reverse. Brilliant. And now we're going to work on our neck. So we're basically going to rotate our neck, but you're going to use your chin to do this. So focus more on the chin. So if you want to turn to the left and then draw up to the center and then draw down to the right and then draw down to your chest. So just make sure we get like a better rotation when we're circling our neck. And in the other direction. Oh, it makes me a bit dizzy. So just take them, whatever feels organic to you, and stop. Oh, I'm a bit dizzy. And then just take your right hand and then put it on the left side of your head and draw the right ear to the right shoulder, and then put your left hand out to the side out to the side just to ground you, and then pull your head gently So you should feel a stretch in the left side of your neck. And then switch sides. And then come extend your feet out in front of you. So we're going to do Gulf chakra, which is ankle rolling. So you're just rotating those ankles. So flex your toes, point them out, and then draw them back in, facing you towards you. So point, roll, point, roll. And you can lean back on your hands to help support you with this. And then the other direction. And then stop. And then we're going to do ankle bending, Gulf Naman. So draw the toes up, pointing towards your face. And then point the toes downwards, pointing the tips of your toes. And then up. And then down. And we'll do that a couple more times. Up. Down. Up. Down. Okay, wonderful. The last thing we're going to do for the warm-up, this is something that's actually in traditional Chinese medicine that I've been finding really helpful in warming up my muscles. I think it's called lymph tapping. I'm not sure the correct name, so I will find it afterwards and I'll type it up onto the video just so I'm getting my terminology correct. But you're literally just getting your palm, you're just tapping, and we'll go around each part of the body. So you're tapping the lymph. So your lymph is like a detox system within your body, and it's all around, and it drains out toxins. And lymph tapping, I find it just loosens up my muscles, it warms up my muscles, and it just wakes me up and makes me feel more energized, so it's perfect in the morning. So we're going to go through the elbows, over the shoulder, so you get the top of your back, and then under the armpit, so you get that side. Switch sides, over the shoulder, so you get the other side of your back. And then do this side. You can go at your own pace. I'm just guiding you through this. Coming down, other side, chest, down to the stomach. And then bend over so you can do your lower back. Come down to your thighs, behind your knees. And then just shake. Okay, so brilliant. So now our warm-up is complete. So now we're going to come into that asana portion of the class. So we're going to start in Supta Baddha Konasana, which is butterfly pose. So you're going to join the you're going to join the soles of your feet together, and then draw your feet in as to where it feels comfortable. So the closer it is towards your pelvis, the more difficult it's going to be. So the further out it is, the less strain there is. So just go where it feels comfortable, because remember, you're using the asana to come into your body. So you never want to have the target of this image of the asana and force yourself into it, because that's not yoga. Yoga is about yoking your layers of existence and yoking yourself. So asana are techniques and meditative techniques to help us yoke. So we use them to come into ourselves, and we find our edge, we find where it feels comfortable, and we rest in it. So your asana should be comfortable. You should be able to stay there. Okay? So join it in, and you're just going to hold Make sure that you draw your back up as straight as possible as well. And make sure you're breathing. It's okay if you're not. Just be aware of how you feel when you're in asana. It may be that you're tense, and it's important not to force yourself into a relaxed and calm state. The point of yoga is to be with yourself. So you might be in discomfort. So just stay in that discomfort and naturally see what happens next. Okay. We're going to come out of Supta Bakonasana, butterfly, and we're going to come into Nakasana. So Nakasana is boat pose. So I'm going to demonstrate first, and then I'm going to talk it through. So, so lie flat on your back with your arms over your head, and I'm demonstrating, remember. So 1, 2, 3. Oh. So that's Nakasana. So we're going to break it down. So if you can come into Nakasana, that's fine. Take that as an option. But another option would be to do this. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Take a breath in and exhale, pull yourself up. So we'll do that 2 more times. So 1, 2, 3. Come back down. 1, 2, 3. Hold. And then relax. Hello, Coco. My dog's joining us. Okay. So then in the next portion of this, you're going to learn to lift your Coco. You're going to learn to lift your legs. So make sure you've got a comfortable seating position on your bum. And you're going to put your hands, you're going to wrap your hands under your thigh, and then you just lift your legs up, keeping your back straight. So this is kind of breaking down the pose. And you can just stay here and hold it for 10 seconds. And we'll come down. Take a breath. It might be that you can't raise your legs yet. Now remember, this is a technique so we can come into ourselves. So it might be you can only actually just stay on the floor with the tips of your toes. It might be that you might have to use your heels. It might be you just sit and you get used to the posture of having your back straight. So find wherever you are, use that asana, tune into your body, and you see where you fit. Okay? So I'm going to hold this for another 10 seconds. Okay, now I'm just going to calm down, and then we're going to see if we can hold both for 10 seconds. So do whatever one you've chosen. So it might be you're coming into the full-on boat, or you're just going to do those drills. So going 1, 2, 3 with your torso, and then holding your legs up for 10 seconds for 2 rounds. So I'm going to give you the time now to practice both. And sorry, I forgot to say, with boat pose, Nakasana, everything should be level. So your knees and your heels should be level with your hands. You can rotate your hands outwards. I've noticed some people, they have the arms externally rotated. I would just say for the moment, because we're just getting started with it, just keep them facing down, or do whatever feels comfortable to you, and try and make sure your back is straight. It is like a strength pose, so it might be quite difficult. And release wherever you are. The back needs a bit of a stretch after that. Okay, so now we're going to come into Malassan squat pose. So this is a supported squat. So I'm going to use 2 blocks. So I'm going to stack the 2 blocks on top of each other. If not, just use a pillow or anything you can sit on. So we're going to do a supported squat. So it's going to sit on the blocks. So we're going to come into supported squat. Okay, so you're going to sit on the blocks and basically you're going to push your legs out as far as feels comfortable. If you can get out far enough, you can rest your elbows on the insides of your thighs. Join your hands together in Anjali Mudra, which is this position, also known as prayer pose. And then you're going to use the thumbs to touch your heart. And you're just going to rest in this. Make sure that your back is straight, if possible. I'm just going to hold. Perfect. And then we're going to release. Come out of that. And now we're going to come to a standing position. So you're just going to stand with your feet in a position that feels comfortable. So you're going to put your hands to your side and you're going to raise your hands above your head and come into Tadasana, mountain pose. Now, just a tip on your breathing. So whenever you expand your muscles, inhale, and when you contract your muscles, exhale. This is a general rule. I don't want you to get caught up in the breathing aspect of it because it can be complicated. But it's just so you know that one of the important parts of yoga is syncing your breath to your movements, however it is difficult. So it's just good to just start having that awareness. For some people, it's easy. For some people, it's not. So as a rule, if it's away, expanding, inhale, and then when you're contracting, exhale. Okay, so we're going to expand our hands into Tadasana, mountain pose, and then we're going to bend down at the hips. Put your hands towards your feet, coming into Hasta Padasana, hand to foot pose. Option to bend your legs. So whatever's most accessible for you. If they're straight, great. If they're bent, also great. Using that asana, what is the shape your body takes on? Honor the shape. And then we're going to come into Samakonasana, right angle pose. So I'm going to turn this way so I can show you why it's called right angle pose. Because you're going up and then your body takes on this right angle kind of shape. Samakonasana. So you can rest your hands on your knees. Make sure your back is straight. And just hold. And release back down into Hasta Padasana, hand to foot pose. So I'm going to come back to face this way. We're going to do that again. So raising your arms up into Tadasana. Bending down at your hips into Hasta Padasana. Rising up to Samokhanasana. We're going to put our hands down to Samokhanasana again. And now you're just going to part your feet. Option to lock your knees, if not take a slight bend, just do whatever feels comfortable. We're going to come into Dolasana, pendulum pose. So with Dolasana, you're going to bend from your lower back again, tilting your pelvis forward, interlock your fingers, place it behind your head. So you want it like to just sit comfortably on your neck, so you get like a slight pull, a slight stretch. And then you're going to rock side to side from your hips, making a pendulum motion. So we're going to do it for 10, 9. If you want to keep counting down to 1, going at your own pace. Great. And then come to center. And then rise back up from your hips. And then we're going to come into Dhanurasana bow and arrow pose. Okay, so take your back foot and make sure the back foot is facing outwards. Okay, then you're going to take the front foot and make sure it's facing forwards vertically on the mat. So basically your body's kind of creates this kind of right angle position. And then we're going to angle ourselves diagonally. Make sure your back is straight. So we're going to come into Dhanurasana bow and arrow pose. So you're going to raise that front hand up and imagine you're holding a bow. Take the back hand and then pull the bow backwards. So that's going to be our position. But as you pull the bow backwards, look up and bend your neck upwards. Okay, so we're going to do that 5 times now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, extra one for luck. And now I'm going to switch sides. So switch your feet, and then do it on the other side, facing diagonally. Sorry to have my back towards you. I'm going to come so I'm facing forward so you can see me properly, but for your sake, switch sides and do the other foot. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I keep just getting lost in it because it feels like really good. So we're going to stop there. Okay, so we're going to come into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So again, we're going to take that position with our feet. So we're going to have the back foot. So the back foot has I'm giving this instruction very poorly, sorry. So we're going to have your back foot with the toes facing forward and then angle your front foot with the foot facing forwards vertically on the mat. So we're getting that right angle position again. But this time we want it all in one line. So spread your legs as far as feels comfortable. Always remember we're using the position to come into ourselves. So Virabhadrasana 2, raise both arms up with the palms facing upwards, so your arms are externally rotated. Okay. We also want to make sure you're not turning your pelvis forward, so always remember that your pelvis is the center of your body. It gives you structure. So your pelvis in this position should be facing forward. So Virabhadrasana 2 is very simple, don't overcomplicate it. And then you're just going to bend that front knee. Simple. Now, if you have quite a lot of strain and tension and stress and trauma in your body, it might be hard to keep your arms up. So I would say just place them like down slightly. So just try and tune in. Never force it, okay? Because it might indicate as well that you just don't have a lot of arm strength. But we want to build that strength up. So we just start and then bring them up gently, just a little bit more as we hold the pose. So we're going to hold this for 10. Okay, and then we're going to come into extended side angle pose. So take an option, so either take it here, or you can stay in Warrior 2 if that's too difficult for you, or take extended side angle. So we'll take that there and we'll hold for 10 seconds. And now take it to the other side. So switch sides now, coming into Warrior 2, bending the knee forward, raising the arms. And then extended side angle. Cool. And then we're going to now come into Hasta Padasana, gorilla pose. So you're going to come back into that same position that you had for Hasta Padasana, hands to foot pose. So the gorilla pose, you're going to take your fingers and your palms and place them under the soles of your feet. So you're stepping on them. If you need to take a bend in your knees, take that bend in your knees. If you need to keep them straight, wherever. So take the option and adjust to the shape your body takes on. Always comfortable asana. And then you want to stretch as far as possible, bend your head down, and then we're going to stay here for 10 seconds. And then we're going to release. And to finish off, we're going to come into Kapotasana, pigeon pose. So this is pigeon pose. I'm going to show you first off, demonstration. So the back leg points out, the pelvis is in the center, and then you're sitting in the position, bending your front leg at the knee. And then the further your front foot goes out, the more difficult the stretch will be. For me personally, I feel right now, my foot's going to be quite close to my pelvis, so that's going to be my bend. This is pigeon pose. Now, you can take some options with this. If you have a pillow or a block, you can take it. You can take a block and you can place it under your bum for your front leg. So you're sitting on it, or you can use a pillow. So you can try that. Or you can do half pigeon. So you can either take half pigeon with your leg pointed outwards. Okay? So with those options, either in half pigeon, a supported pigeon, or just pigeon, we're going to hold this and I'll cue you out. And then switching. So pigeon on the other side, Kapotasana. Wonderful. So now we're going to come into Shavasana. So this is corpse pose. And you can either take the Shavasana on your back or you can lie on your front. It's up to you. You can bend your legs or keep them above your head. Do whatever feels good to you. And we're going to stay in Shavasana for a minute. And then gently come onto your side into fetal pose. And let's take a second, because this is symbolic of us taking what we learned today on the mat, anything that came to us, anything that we experienced, taking it forward into the day. So just rest. And then push yourself upwards. And we finish our practice for today. We finished our sadhana. Now, I've got 2 more videos that include pranayam, which is breathing practices. So I'm going to link those below because you might want to start this asana with the pranayam. So there's 2, there's Kapalbhati and there's Ujjayi pranayam, Ujjayi pranayam is really nice before bed. Kapalbhati should only be done in the morning. So I'm going to link those two below, and then you can include them with this practice. And I hope this was good for you today. I haven't posted in a really long time, so I feel like I'm really rusty. But I hope this is helpful if you have any sensitive wrist and you can build up this routine so it's a morning routine. I think what I'll also do is I'll do like a minimally cued version of this, because when you get more proficient, you won't need all the cueing. And that's the whole point. Repeat the classes so your body gets used to the movements. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Take care. Bye.